G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in over on the east side of the map, playing as the Holy Roman Empire, it is Puppy Paw. On the opposite side of the map, playing as the Mongols, we have got MOA Metal. A beautiful little spawn for him. He's got the gold mine up against the town center. The town center obviously right up against the tree line as well. Perfect little spot for him. The Uvu a little bit further away. And I'm curious to see exactly what we're going to be spotting out of MOA Metal today, because this matchup is a very difficult matchup for Puppy Paw. Puppy Paw obviously on the Holy Roman Empire. A civilization that likes to take its time, that likes to just be able to collect up those relics. It is something that the Mongols love to punish, and something that they're very capable of doing. This matchup on the ladder, I think it's about a 46% win rate for the Holy Roman Empire. Might be a little bit lower than that. It is their worst matchup by far. So already you're going to be seeing Puppy Paw coming in at a bit of a disadvantage. Double scout opening for Puppy Paw. He's going to be able to run into both of his enemies' respective scouts. We see the Khan up towards the north side being met there. He's got a decent little following that's beginning to build behind his scout. Over for MOA Metal, you can see he's actually heading out to his enemy side as well. And the question is at this point, what are we going to be seeing? Are we going to be seeing some early aggression? There's your answer. There is your answer. No surprises for that early aggression. And Puppy Paw, got to be careful. You could see that town center could have potentially taken that scout out had he not been paying attention just one more second. I know I often talk about, you know, the difference between the top level players and great players. That's a great play right there. That is a top level play. The fact that he manages to just save that scout in time, that could have been very unfortunate. He could have lost a lot of sheep there. So very, very nice job by Puppy Paw. We'll take a look at how the map has spawned out. You can see that each player's got one contested relic up towards the north, and then, or one safe relic rather, and then we've got the 3 contested relics in the middle. A little bit more favored towards our red player, MOA Metal. He's going to be quite happy with that. Obviously, Mongols a big fan of moving out onto the map, getting their vroom vroom car out there, their monastery, aka prayer tent. But we'll take a look at how Puppy Paw is doing and what kind of build order he's up to, because we've seen him use multiple interesting strategies before. I suspect it's probably going to be an Archon Chapel. He's got a nice spot for it right here. It's going to hit that first wood line at the very least. It is going to hit that gold mine, and it's going to hit the hunt as well. The other option would be that he goes for somewhere around here, but that's just not going to work. And you can see he is going to be hitting that wood line, only going to be hitting the small wood line, but it's more than enough to just sort of, you know, you don't really have to worry too much about it. 18 trees. He's going to be fine with that. He's going to be A-okay. That's going to be more than enough to get him off the ground. But now Puppy Paw is going to be heading away from the gold mine, which sort of indicates to me that we might even be seeing some potential feudal age play. A little bit strange, a little bit weird. Maybe even a second town center is potential for what we could be seeing here. Obviously, he's got stone in the back of the base that's going to be up here. It is a very safe map for him, but now MOA Metal going to be coming out. 2 spearmen going to be making their way out with the initial scout and the initial villager. He can actually see that the outpost is coming up because the Khan is attacking the villagers. But the prelate going to be out on the front side, going to be able to provide a little bit of healing in addition to that inspiration. Villagers moving forward, and it looks like Puppy Paw might even be going for a little bit of a break on this position. Heading forward now with the villagers, going to be turning their attention towards that outpost. Going to be pulling plenty of villagers here and forces that outpost down. The consequence of revealing your hand before you actually you're able to play it. So the Khan firing there at the villagers while standing on the outpost reveals that outpost. Now, obviously, Puppy Paw probably would have been on the ball in that regard. But still, it's one of those things that, you know, it's a little bit unfortunate. What an age up. Look at this age up coming in for the Holy Roman Empire. This is unheard of. It's 4 minutes on the dot. 4 minutes. 4 minutes and he's now aged up. Archery range going to be coming down very, very shortly. You can see he's trying his best to gather up as much wood as possible. All of the villagers now going to be heading off that initial tree out to the secondary trees. Khan just firing off an outpost about to come out now for Puppy Paw. He's going to have the option to move over onto this position, but ideally you probably just even look to go for straggler trees. And look at this, what we've got from Puppy Paw, just focusing down all of these deer, getting them in nice and close to that Archon Chapel. Beautiful stuff by him. And now going to be forced away from this position. Second second outpost may potentially come up, but the archery range is going to be coming up as well with it. Interestingly, not just going off the straggler trees, something that you do see players do is look to go for that straggler tree, but rushing up that archery range, you can see he is intent on causing havoc now. Puppy Paw trying his best to hold on. MOA Metal behind this, thinking about aging up. Nothing else really going on for him. And now more spears being rallied in towards his position. The 6th spear comes out on this front side. He's trying his best not to lose it. Archery range is up. He wants to deny this outpost as best he can, and he's looking really good. And it all lends itself to the fact that the new Holy Roman Empire is so damn quick. So impossibly quick. I can't believe how quickly he aged up here, held it. And it was just a standard age up. It was just your standard little age up. There's nothing fancy about it. It's just a classic 4-minute age up. Everything was on time. And now that outpost going to be coming up. He's going to try and commit here. MOA Metals needs to make a decision as to whether he commits, and it looks like the outpost will go up, but it goes down almost immediately. Village is going to be falling back here. It looks like we've had a couple of losses, but the only losses seem to be for the Mongol player. It looks like Puppy Paw manages to keep all of the villagers alive. Obviously, the archer is going to be out now, so that's going to force any potential towers to sort of daisy chain their way through instead of taking these larger leaps. We'll watch to see how MOA Metal plays it. It's the trade wing. I can already tell from the way, I can tell by the way she walks. That is the trade wing. That is a little bit of a, it's a weird, as soon as I don't recognize it, I'm like, that's a trade wing. That has got to be a trade wing. And did I say trade wing? It's not trade wing, but you know, it's the trade Lambach. He's not playing the Abbasid dynasty. If he was, that wouldn't be the trade wing. I mean, it probably would be the trade wing. It is the silver tree that is coming out for anybody who doesn't know what the silver tree is. It acts as a market. That's the first thing. It can build traders 50% faster and at a 50% reduced gold cost. They get the 2-for-1 right there. Faster traders production as well as just having more traders that are well, rather just having cheaper traders. But now that outpost going to be denied over on this western flank. A new Khan has risen, so good game no longer is called. As you guys know, one of the things that happens quite often is people will just, as soon as the Khan dies, people will say just good game. But it looks like this outpost just going to get cleared up. I love the way Puppy Paw plays this, pulling 23 villagers. What great value that MOA Metal is getting from this outpost, though. You really got to admire it. You know, 23 villagers idle for so damn long. You think about how long it takes them to collect, you know, 1 wood or something like that. He's probably just gathered about, you know, he's gained about 300 villager seconds just in that brief time right there. About 15 to 20 seconds has elapsed now, and he's going to be able to get back to work. And you can see that Puppy Paw has cleared this out. He's managed to stabilize at this point, and he's going to be thinking about heading up to that castle age. You can tell by the village account that he's got over here. The other option's always going to be heading out over onto the deer carcasses. He's got plenty of them sitting standby, and now looking to wall it up. Cognizant of the fact that there could be lancers coming in very shortly, he begins to wall up all aspects of his base. We'll tune back in over onto the other side and see how MOA Metal is doing, because that is correct. He's going for the trade wing. And I don't think Puppy Paw realizes that, but now going to be able to spot out the outpost and sees the silver tree. And now he should know exactly what he needs to do in this scenario. So for anybody who doesn't know what you need to do against the silver tree, the trick is you target the traders. That is it. You want to try your best to kill the traders. Now, there's multiple ways that you can do that, whether you look for a feudal age play, but to be honest, it's going to take time before it pays off. You don't have to worry a super hard amount about these bad boys. So I think in Puppy Paw's position, what the best thing he can do is just continue doing what he's doing, go to that castle age. Once he hits castle, just spam out knights like an absolute madman, and then try and look to take those out, prioritize them, because I would expect that MOA Metal is going to be looking. You can see the traders are up now 2 by 2, and he is doing a pretty decent job with regard to getting those bad boys in. He's already hitting numbers of 7, which is quite ludicrous when you think about it, but I would be expecting that he continues to look to extend out that YAM network. You can see that it is going to be providing that movement speed to traders as well as cavalry, but it doesn't linger anymore. That's the big thing. It doesn't linger the way that it used to, and now you can see these traders are going to get buffed up. Wait, the town center doesn't provide YAM? Really? Does the town center not provide YAM? I didn't realize that. I thought the town center provided YAM. There you go. There you go. I guess I've learned something new today. Turns out the devs aren't Mongol mains. There you go. So it's only going to be buffed up once it is in that range of the outpost. So this is the new nerfed Mongols with the outpost. So these traders are going to be losing their YAM speed buff as soon as they leave the vicinity of that trader, or that outpost. And so it means that when you come to daisy chaining these outposts in, that you've got to go for a bit more, a little bit closer together this time, because normally the way that you would do it was make it so that you can time it to linger. So you could have one down here which would collect in and then out, and then you put one right here, and then that would, you know, basically your traders would have the YAM network all the way from here. They would leave and then they would continue up here, and then by the time they would get to here, they would then hit the YAM network, and then they'd make it over here, and you'd have this perfect little daisy chain of traders. But MOA Metal now gonna be thinking about Castle Age himself. He's out on the deer hunt. He's got plenty of food over here, and you can see that he is intent on getting up to that Castle Age. We'll check in with Puppy Paw and see what he's up to. It's gonna be the Burgrave Palace, ladies and gentlemen. We have seen it plenty of times, and a 10-minute age up right there. That is a beautiful age up time for Puppy Paw, considering the fact that he was hit pretty hard nice and early, but it is just going to be heavy men-at-arms coming out. The one difficulty that he's going to have is going up against that YAM network. Sure, he's going to be able to do damage on that trade line, but the question is whether he's actually going to be able to kill those traders. And now we see horsemen coming out as well. Trader numbers starting to look very healthy for his opponent. MOA Metal now sitting on 12 traders. So slowly but steadily increasing that trader count. We can see he's got the option to trade, or to train rather, 2 sets of traders, but not going to be the case here. Not at this point. But now at the front of the base, we can see that Puppy Paw is really quite happy to move out. And I gotta be honest, I'm loving this Burgrave Palace. Instead of going into knights, he goes into infantry. It makes a lot of sense in this position because he's gonna be able to target down those outposts that we do know about, which is going to obviously reduce the YAM network, reduce the speed of those traders, and really look to shut this down. But Puppy Paw moving out, and this is one of the key weaknesses of this Mongol trade, is that sure, you might have bought yourself some time with that outpost rush, but you didn't buy yourself enough, and now as a result, it means you're going to be in a very difficult position. MOA Metal going to be going up with the Kurultai. It is happening. We are getting all of the unique Mongol landmarks, and the question is whether they're going to be able to pull this victory off. The Holy Roman Empire, obviously a civilization that matches up against the Mongols pretty well for the Mongol players. So it is definitely going to be ball in the court for MOA Metal today. Trader gonna have to make its way back. Fortunately manages to survive with just a slither of health, but now gonna be under major threat as Puppy Paw looks to turn his attention towards that outpost. We see arrow slits come through for it. Kurultai almost finished now, and gonna be able to clean up these archers down towards this south side. But there are plenty of traders that are now just sitting idle. The Kurultai has come out. For anybody unfamiliar with the Kurultai, 2 landmarks that we never see. We'll get a nice little screenshot of this right here. Your classic Mongol these are just 2 landmarks that you just never really see coming out, but it is a classic combo. The reason why it makes so much sense is because if you go for the step redoubt here, you're kind of doubling up on your gold. In a perfect world, you're going to be getting all your gold from trade. So it doesn't really make sense for you to be going into the step redoubt because you're going to be getting extra gold already from your traders. But now we can see that MOA Metal going to have to go towards a different trading angle. All of the traders heading up together in tandem towards this northern trading post. And look at Puppy Paw. Look at Puppy Paw. He knows exactly what is up. Nice little walls coming down from Puppy Paw already. Couple of men at arms have got their maces upgrade coming through. We can see that he's getting all the upgrade 2-handed weapons coming through as well. Relics being picked up behind this as well. He is just getting absolutely everything. This is how you play the Holy Roman Empire. It is just absolutely beautiful, and I love it. The Burgrave Palace is genuinely looking really, really good, and I'm confident that we're going to continue to see more and more of this Burgrave Palace come out. That villager basically just got one shot by the by the men at arms. I was going to say the Landsconnects, but these guys, they might deal a lot of damage, but I tell you what, they're not the Landsconnects, that's for sure. Prelate probably going to be going down here. If it doesn't, geez, you'd be a bit upset because that horseman was bugging out. MOA Metal going to be catching that prelate before it makes its way back in, but looking to try and steal up some of those relics. We'll check in over with Puppy Paw and see what his relic count is at the moment. I can't actually see any of the relics that he's got. There's, jeez, oh gosh, 3 relics already. Far out. He's been working overtime with regard to those relics, and now that prelate going to be coming out. You can see him just standing there waiting, but now MOA Metal in trouble. Puppy Paw going to be looking to come in and dish out some damage at the same time. Traders up towards the north. 152 gold going to be coming in slowly but steadily. And now Magadai coming out here for MOA Metal. That's the unit of choice. That is what he's going to be looking for here up against these scary men at arms. I was trying to think of an appropriate descriptive word there, but scary is probably the best bet. Ideally for the Magadai here, what they're going to need is that blacksmith coming through as quickly as possible. It doesn't look like he's picked it up just yet. Gur heading out, but you can see that if you just blink for a second, you're going to be losing those Magadai. They're kind of like horse archers in that regard, but keep in mind they do have the ability to fire and move. Kurultai going to be moving out as well. Traders might get caught in a bit of a bad position. MOA Metal going to be trying his best to avoid... Oh my lord, this could be be a massacre. This could be a massacre. The traders are trying to make their way back in. And remember, if you do retask them, they are going to lose those resources that they've gotten. Just to not enough damage coming out now. A Lance are going to be looking to dish out damage as well. And the traders are getting stuck. And remember, he can't move those traders. If he changes their route, then they lose all those resources that they're bringing in. And sure, he might keep them alive, but then it's another long walk back to the pavilion. Continuing to try. We see the double Mangonite production going to be coming out now. He's got the option for Sihar Bow Limbs, which increases the range damage of the Mangonite and the Khan by 1. And that's going to help him out a huge amount to try and pierce through that armor that he's got up against. There's 4 armor. No +1 coming through for either player just yet. But I suspect it would be on the way for our Mongol player. It's just going to help him out a lot more. But now those Mangonite numbers starting to move up. The Kurultai going to be coming out, and we can see that healing circle going to be coming down here. The units are moving very, very fast. You've got to love the way the Mangonite move. 1.62 movement speed here. Was that the Khan going down? No, it wasn't. The Khan still lives. The Khan still lives. And MOA Metal starting to look a little bit better, a little bit smoother. His traders have made it back towards that main position, and I think they've turned their attention down towards the south side, but little do they know. Well, in fact, a lot do they know, because those Puppy Paw. You are so cheeky, Puppy Paw. I love it. It's just a very smart counterplay. But now there's no real counterplay to these walls. Not for the Mongol player. He's going to try his best to go through the palisade gate. Give him another 6 minutes and he'll be through it. Until then, though, he turns his attention down towards the south. He could chop through instead of sieging it down with the villager, but there is an outpost that's going to be coming down, and we can see those traders, unfortunately, a little bit sad that they're not able to take the gold from that trade post. Cleanup coming through now. The Mangonite number's starting to look a little bit healthier for MOA Metal. So this is where it starts to get scary, right? Because the Mongol player is now able to establish themselves out on the map. We've seen him go up to castle, but I guess my question was, did he go too early to castle? The Mangonite actually deal pretty effectively with the composition that is being thrown at him at the moment. So if he'd stayed in castle, or if he'd stayed in feudal and just looked to get out, 10, 12 Mangonite, establish that Yam network down towards the south, I suspect he would have been in a great spot. Perhaps that's something that we see Mongol players look to do in the future. Up against a fast castle play, there's more than enough time that they will be bought to do that and go straight into the silver tree. But Kurultai just going to be chilling out. He's still yet to move that one all the way up to the front. And keep in mind, your units can be in battle and it will still provide that aura. So when the Khan is nearby, the Kurultai heals all nearby damage units and provides an additional 25% bonus damage for 30 seconds. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So it doesn't work unless the Khan is nearby. The Khan needs to be nearby, so if you do lose that Khan, it will hurt you very badly with the Kurultai. But now, the veteran Khan, as well as all those Mangonite moving out, a fair amount of veteran archers out here as well. MOA Metal going to be taking this fight. It looks like a fight he probably doesn't want to have to take, though, as he continues kiting away back from his opponent. Prelate going to be going down, as well as those units on the front side. But ideally, you'd love to see him just bring out some really heavy cavalry would be perfect in this situation. But now an outpost going to be coming in with a sprinkled emplacement on it, slowly but steadily working through that men-at-arms. And MOA Metal's trying his best to keep himself above water. But unfortunately, it just seems like things are just slowly but steadily moving away from him. Beautiful macro coming in from Puppy Paw back here. He's got a nice little farm transition that's slowly but steadily making its way up. How many relics did he end up capturing? He's got 4 in the bag. The 5th relic out in the back left-hand corner over here, or the far west-hand corner. But now Puppy Paw might catch himself in a little bit of a bad spot. MOA Metal going to be running in. I feel like he might be biting off more than he can chew. The attack speed arrow going to be coming off, and you can see the archers just one-shotting through those Mangonite, and that's really the difficult position. This is why those lances are going to make all the difference, but a nice little trade there. And this is something that you could see him do. He could look to try and push up, dish out some damage. He's going to be able to heal up in this position, and now we see more lances coming out. This is exactly what he needs. Ideally, you'd love to see a 2nd or 3rd stable get thrown down and a big switch come in on those lances. Sure, they're going to be taking extra damage against those men-at-arms with their heavy maces, because they get that extra 6 damage. But still, you got to feel that they do great up against these veteran archers. I guess the other option is that he goes into horsemen, but horsemen always feel a little bit weird when you're playing with the Mongols, just because you do hit that speed cap very, very quickly. But now we can see that those traders going to have to fall back. It doesn't really seem like this trade post is very viable. Puppy Paw has completely shut down trade on this map, has walled off all areas of that south side towards the north side, the sprinkled emplacement, or rather, he's just going to be going arrow slits up towards the north. That's all he's going to need, he reckons. But Puppy Paw slowly but steadily gathering up more units. Burgrave Palace working absolutely overtime, and plenty of production back here for him. Macro starting to get a little bit out of hand. He's got plenty of gold coming through from those relics, 400 gold a minute. And this is part of the reason why I think the Burgrave is so damn strong, because in situations like this, you can see just how well he is able to spend his resources and spend it so freaking quickly. Instead of having to build those extra barracks and work out the timing for them, you don't have to think about it. You do not have to even consider it. You just press W on your keyboard a couple times and boom, all your resources are gone. Beautiful stuff. But we'll check in over with MOA Metal because he's going to be massing up those units. Kurultai rather, slowly healing them up. Lancer numbers not looking very healthy. Ideally, I mean, we talked about this a bit earlier. You'd love to see a lot more Lancers, but now it's going to be a Traction Trebuchet coming out for MOA Metal, and you can't help but feel sorry for the guy. It's not looking good, and it all goes down to that early support. He just didn't have enough of it. He went for a bit of a naked fast castle, and as a result, he really got punished. But it was a bit more of like a Rush FC, wasn't it? You know, the Dark Age Rush with the towers into Fast Castle. But there was a couple of traders that came out. But I definitely feel like in this when you're going for this build order, going for the early Magadai, definitely help it out. But you can see they've got this nice little buff up here, an extra 25% damage. It's going to give them a total of 6 extra attack. That's huge. That is a huge amount. We'll check and see whether they've got their upgrades. In fact, we still don't have Seer Bow limbs. Do we have +1? We've got +1. We've got +2 as well. That's a relief to see. But now down towards the south side, it looks like MOA Metal going to be breaking through with the Traction Trebuchet. We've also got Puppy Paw. We've still got this outpost down here. No relic sitting inside it, but it's going to have more than enough health on it. And looks like Puppy Paw might even be thinking about going to Imperial himself. But now 39 archers together with plenty of men at arms. 17, more than enough to sort of knock down any potential threat that his opponent's got. This infantry mass is looking very scary, very healthy as well. And the Kurultai going to be coming down to the south. I suspect that MOA Metal thinks that there might be units on the way. We'll take a look from his perspective. He has no clue where his enemy's army is, but he does have plenty of line of sight out here, so he will know that they are coming through a little bit earlier. But that outpost going to be coming up in the middle. I suspect we're going to have all of the infantry moving in through here, and indeed we are. So it's going to be a little bit of a tough spot, let's just say that much. But MOA Metal now opens the floodgates. We could look to see the traders come out, and indeed we do. But now all those infantry units going to be moving through. Sprinkled emplacement firing off. Not a lot of lancers right now. There's only 3 horsemen as well as a single lancer who's going to be trying his best. The Magadai trying to dish out the DPS, but struggling here. They're going to be able to get that buff from the Kurultai. The Khan on the backside, I don't know exactly where he is, but he's going to be firing off that attack speed arrow, and with that he's going to be able to fire down a lot faster DPS. Falls back to the Kurultai, looks to try and get that healing up. It's going to help him out a huge amount and just make sure that those units live to see another day. Now continuing to move back in. The backside, the Mangadais are just dishing out the damage, but the Archer Mass is still looking very, very good for him. MOA Metal going to be trying his best to hold on here, but he's taking a fight that's probably not the best. The kiting coming out from Puppy Paw is going to be exactly what he needs, and we see the Imperial now coming through for Puppy Paw as well. This is definitely going to be difficult for MOA Metal, and it looks like he just taps out. He says good game. He knew that he wasn't going to be able to take this fight at all, and Puppy Paw is victorious. Good game, well played. Puppy Paw, incredible stuff right there, and the Holy Roman Empire looking like a civilization that might be top tier, boys.